Hello and welcome to another episode of Outdoor Defense. This week I'm talking about how to stay safe from animal encounters while hiking. Now this was a video that was special requested by one of my followers. It's something that I get quite often when I'm doing my Yes I'm Hiking solo programs, and I did write an article on solo hiking which included a section on animal safety. I'll put the link to that article here in my bio so that you can check that out at your leisure, but I did want to address the concern that a lot of people have about animal encounters while hiking and wanted to give you some safety tips for that. One of the best ways to avoid an encounter with a wild animal is to use your awareness when you are going out into the outdoors. Avoid having headphones in, or if you're going to have them in, have the volume very low. You need to be able to hear what's going on around you. You need to hear the rustling over there that can clue you into the fact that there is a bear or a mountain lion or a squirrel or a bison or whatever animal is. You need to be aware of your surroundings so that you know what the best way is to respond that can get you out of that encounter safely. So it's important to pay attention to your surroundings. And if you see an animal from a distance, give that animal plenty of space. Respect it, give it space, and try to avoid having a confrontation. Most animal confrontations are by accident. Either they stumble upon us because they didn't hear us or see us, or we do the same. It's really important that you do your own research on where you're going to be hiking so that you know what type of animals you may encounter. For instance, I live in Southern California and do not often hike in grizzly bear country. So if I was going to grizzly bear country, I would obviously look up and research and refresh my safety skills regarding that animal, because it's not an animal that I encounter on my regular hikes. The first one is black bears. If you are hiking and you encounter a black bear, stay as far away from the bear as possible. Slowly back away. Use a calm voice. Announce yourself that you're there so that the bear can identify you as human. Avoid turning and running, and avoid turning your back. If the bear is getting up on its hind legs, that's actually something it does when it's curious and trying to get additional information and kind of figure out who you are. It's not a sign of aggression usually. If the bear has started to attack or it is getting very aggressive, then you are going to try to make yourself as big as possible. You want to keep your backpack on because that can provide some protection on your back. You want to pick up small children if they're around. Don't run, and definitely don't climb a tree because bears can outrun you and they can climb trees, and if you run, that can trigger a predatory response in the bear. If the black bear has begun to attack, fight back, because at that point you need to defend yourself, and the bear will keep attacking unless you fight back. So if we're talking about grizzly bears, that response is going to be slightly different than with a black bear. The beginning part is the same as far as the prevention part. When a grizzly bear starts to attack, though, the advice is to play dead. Leave your backpack on, get on your stomach, dig your toes into the ground, put your hands behind your neck, and wait for the attack to be over. If the attack is prolonged or it's a predatory attack, say this happened in your tent or at your campground, so it's going after you as if you're food, then the National Park Service recommends then fighting back, and you're going to aim for the same spots on the bear that we would aim for in a human, which is the face, the nose, the eyes. The National Park Service recommends bear spray as the last tool in your toolbox, and I completely agree. It's another thing where if you plan on using it, you do need to know how to use it. It needs to be easily accessible, and you may be able to avoid having to use it at all by using the other tips that I've just given you. Let's talk about mountain lions. If you see a mountain lion, you are going to be loud. You are going to make a lot of noise. You are going to make yourself big and tall. You're going to wave your arms, and you're going to stand up tall. You're going to pick up small children immediately, and you're going to try to slowly back away and give them space. But avoid crouching down, because when we're standing up and tall, mountain lions know that we're people. We don't look like food. But if we bend down, well, now we're smaller. So if you're going to pick up your kids, avoid crouching down. And if you need to throw things at the mountain lion, you want to throw it in its direction, not at it, because we don't want to hurt the animal. But you're going to throw a stick or rocks or something down at the base around it to try to scare it so that it knows that you are not prey. This is something that I learned in a survival class. They said if a mountain lion attacks you, you're dinner. So if a mountain lion does attack you, you are going to fight back. Let's talk about bison. Now, believe it or not, there are more injuries due to bison attacks in Yellowstone National Park than there are due to any other animal. So even though it's an herbivore, an encounter with it could be dangerous. You want to try to avoid an encounter. Give the animal plenty of space. They are notoriously unpredictable. And again, they're a wild animal, and we want to give it its space so that we can keep the animal safe and we can keep ourselves safe. If you run into a bison, you want to try to back away slowly. Using a loud voice and waving your arms is not going going to deter a bison. A bison can run up to 35 miles an hour, so running away is also not an option. If you are unfortunate enough where a bison charges you, the first charge is usually a bluff charge, but it means get out of the way. And if you're in an open area, that is not a good situation because, like I said, a bison can outrun you. You want to try to find cover. Get a tree in between you and the bison, a car, a big rock until it retreats, and then you can get away to safety. Last but not least, encounters with moose. Moose are large, beautiful, majestic creatures, but they can also be incredibly dangerous. If you run across a moose, back away slowly. If it hasn't noticed you, just keep walking. And if they do see you, then you're gonna talk in a calm, gentle manner and try to back away. Give the animal as much space as you can. And unlike with a bison, black bear, grizzly bear, or mountain lion, it is totally okay to run from a moose. And you can actually climb a tree from a moose if you need to get away.